Hi there, everybody. So, long time no see. So, it has been a while since I have boarded you all with another video. I think the last video I did was my, tribute to 9/11 3 months ago, or 4 months ago, or whatever. But, yeah. It's funny, I never know how to start a video. I never know how to get a topic going. But, I guess we just dive right into it. So, I've been doing a lot of, thinking, and I have a message for the older generation. Stop bashing millennials. I mean, it's like all over the internet I see the older generation, baby boomers are worse, are the worst about this, bashing millennials and, you know, basically finding every reason they can, to pick at us and to pick at my generation. Now, I'm not saying my generation is perfect, but I mean, let's be honest. No generation has ever been perfect in their youth. I think a lot of the older generation forgets that they weren't, forgets that they weren't perfect in their youth either. And they've done a lot of stupid stuff. They've done a lot of dumb stuff too when they were young, and they act like we're the first ones who have ever done stupid shit. And they all see us the same way, that we're lazy, or that we're addicted to our phones and our internet. But millennials are not lazy. You know, we just don't work the same way they do. We just do things differently than they do, and for some reason it makes us lazy. And the whole being addicted to the internet thing, well, yeah, I mean, we grew up with the internet, so of course we're going to use it. I mean, are you telling me that if the internet had been invented in the 60s or in the 70s or 50s that, you wouldn't have used it? I mean, come on. But the older generation has literally been shaming the younger generation for probably all of human history. I mean, there's this quote that someone wrote like 1,000 years ago. I don't remember what it is, but as soon as I find it, I will put it down in the description below. But it seems like my generation, the millennials, are the ones being put down the most. And the thing about the old generation is they use the term millennial to lump every single young person together. So it's like they see children, teenagers, and young adults as all being millennials, but that's actually not true. Millennials were born anywhere from the 1980s to the late 1990s. So some millennials are almost 40 years old. My older sister, she's 32 years old, and she would be considered a millennial. But I think so. I'm not entirely sure. The whole generation category thing is kind of confusing to me. But yeah, anyway. Damn, my nose itches. But anyway, it just seems like everywhere I look, there's just some baby boomer or older generation person just tearing apart millennials. And I'm not saying we're perfect. I mean, of course we're not perfect. I mean, we've done stupid things. But like I said before, every generation has always had young people who've done stupid things. For instance, people who grew up in the 60s young people who grew up in the 60s smoked acid. And I'm not really sure what kids in the 70s and 80s did. I don't really know. But I just feel like a lot of the older generation sometimes forgets that what they were like in their youth, and they think that our generation is the only generation who's ever done anything stupid. Another thing about the old generation is they always accuse millennials of being entitled, of feeling like they're entitled to things. But most millennials actually do want to work. I want to work. I've been searching for a job for the past 2 years, and I've been applying to place after place, and I've only gotten 2 interviews, but I've been trying, and I don't feel entitled to anything, and I don't feel entitled to, or like the world owes me anything, but the older generation, they stereotype us all as being the same as us having the as all of us being lazy and entitled, and that's just not the case. And like I said, some millennials are almost 40 years old, so when was the last time that someone from the older generation called someone who's almost 40 entitled? It seems like that term is a word that's only used for young people nowadays. And and I'm in no way saying this to offend or to bash or criticize the older generation in any way. I've always gotten along pretty good with older people, but it seems like I see my generation being attacked a lot by the older generation, mostly because we don't live the same, and mostly because we don't do things the same way they did. Like, we don't work the same way they did, but millennials are currently the highest, I think it says somewhere that they're the highest group of people in the workforce. I mean, I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, please feel free to correct me. But I just wish that people would take the older generation would take the time to actually get to know us before they start stereotyping us as being all the same. Like, we're not the ones, swallowing Tide Pods or sticking condoms up our nose. We're not the ones doing that. I have never done that, and I have no desire to do that. Millennials are not teenagers. We're adults. We're all adults. I just barely hit the mark of millennial. I read on one site that it was 1980 to 1996, but I read another site that was 1994. So I don't really know. I call myself a millennial because I was born into that era. But well, I'm saying but and a lot, aren't I? But it just seems completely unnecessary to just keep finding things about millennials to pick at and lumping every single young person together as a millennial when not every young person is a millennial. Teenagers are not millennials. They're like Generation X or Y or something. I don't really know what generation they are, but they are not millennials. And again, I could be wrong, so feel free to correct me. But this is actually something I've been thinking a lot about, and why I decided to do this video. So I just kind of wanted to get that out there. I'm sorry this video sucks. This is the first video I've done in 3 months. I hope you all had a great Christmas and an awesome New Year. We didn't really do much for Christmas. We had a Christmas Eve dinner, and Christmas Day was just me and my immediate family, and I didn't really get much. I just got some pajamas and $160 in cash, and my brother gave me 2 gift cards that were both worth $25, so that was good. My New Year's, I just kind of hung out and watched TV, and I don't really celebrate New Year's much, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't really see the point. Dog. But, yeah. So, and I'm sorry I haven't uploaded for a very long time. Not that any of you really care. for being honest. Because, why would you? So I hope you all, and I'm sorry if I look so tired. I mean, I've literally been up since 5 a.m. I've only gotten like 3 hours of sleep, so I'm probably going to go take a nap after this video. So, thank you for watching, and as always, I will see you all next time.